heard it, Joss. Now, Robin Pullen is the author of the book titled Get Activated. The professional speaker and executive coach prides himself with helping people get activated in pursuing their personal mastery. Now, he joins us in studio to chat about the key concept that he writes about in the book that everyone can learn from. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Robin, I think this is a book that everyone needs to go out and get. Of course, here you're saying how to shift from instinctive reactions to intentional responses. Now, that can't be easy.
It's easier than you think. I think the problem is that we overcomplicate it. And then instinct takes over, your lizard brain, your old wiring. The magic is that it's a simple set. There's 5 things that you need to learn to do, and you can take back your power in any moment and not be taken over by instinct, but exercise intention.
Wow.
And show up in your best, your most authentic self and do what you need to do in that moment.
Absolutely. So not only are you known for this incredible book, but you have such a wealth of knowledge and you love sharing that knowledge and imparting it as a speaker with different audiences. What is it about motivation and speaking to people that just keeps drawing you in?
Well, the direct answer is it's my currency. I don't work for money, I work for the change in people's lives. When the lights come on, when someone realizes that there is enough, that you are powerful, that you have everything that you need inside you, all you need to learn is how to access that. And then you can show up in your most authentic self, you can let your genius shine, and you can do amazing things and live a life on purpose.
And is this what motivated you to write the book?
What motivated me, 2 things.
Okay.
Number 1, I've got 4 kids. And I thought to myself, you know, one day it would be really cool if they read this book and they go, oh, that's what Dad was on about. The other thing is I've trained more than 100,000 people on the continent, and I've worked with so many people, and I like to say this, CEOs in any O that I see. And the funny thing is, like, why do good people do stupid things?
Yeah.
Why do clever people find the most amazing ways to break things, to break systems? Why do organizations not work? I have never found a system that breaks itself. I've never found a business that implodes by itself.
Of course.
But in every place where there's a problem, we find a person, and I've made it my mission to understand why is it that we make mistakes.
Yeah, I think that there's something very special about learning the lesson around the first time, because if you don't learn your lesson, the mistake will keep happening over and over again, and the cycle will continue until you learn that lesson. So here you've put together some key tips, which is so lovely, because a lot of the time you get these motivational books that kind of speak in the air and don't give you practical tools. You speak about the 3 H's. What is the concept behind these 3 H's and how does it work?
Superb. It's really simple. And my work needs to be simple because I work with real people. And real people need real results that get stuff done. So the 3 H's are head, heart, and hands. Okay. Head being intellectual. In the first space we need to learn, the first domain that we need to learn to make sense of is our sense-making domain, our intellectual intelligence.
Okay.
The second is the emotional, I call it heart. When you make sense of what you're feeling, not physically, but your emotion. More often than not, people are not thinking about what they're doing, they're feeling about what they're thinking, about what they think they should be doing.
Yes,
and that's the disconnect.
Yes.
The third H in this 3 H domains is the hands, the physiology, but more importantly, your experience and your expertise. More often than not, because of the heart domain, because of the emotion, we trip up ourselves and then we can't access our experience and our expertise, the skills that we have, the tools that we have, and we can't show up.
So, Robin, is this the exact order that you would like to see people functioning in, rather putting the head before the heart and then followed by the hands?
No, in the book, there's 5 steps. The first of those 5 steps is the obstruction.
Okay.
There is a moment, there's a situation, an incident that happens in our lives. I know you and I don't have this problem, but some others do. We do something, we say something, we find ourselves in a moment when you respond, I choose the word react. We react in a way it's like, oh my gosh, was that me? Did I just say that? Did I just do that?
Yes.
That is a response to an obstruction. And that response causes a trigger. We've placed emotion and meaning to that trigger. Now, that's the opportunity to say, where have I been triggered? Is it in my head, in my heart, or my hands?
I get it.
And when you are in that space, you're able to be more, I call it real-time aware, and you can become conscious of what it is that you're doing or not doing, and you become more conscious about how your instinct has taken over, and you can learn systematically and quickly, rapidly learn how to take control of your emotions and show up with intention.
So whether it's work, at home, at school, some of us just react in whatever way we instinctually, that lizard brain you were talking about, kind of tells us to. What are some of the biggest mistakes that people make in this kind of response?
I think anger is the first one.
Yeah.
And anger has a number of ways of showing up. But essentially at the heart of anger is a sense of loss of control. And when you're losing control, the sensory, and I speak of two senses. Now, one is emotional sense, like, am I okay here? And the second is a sensory or a physiological sense.
Okay.
And when you're out of control, the instinctive reaction is to do whatever it takes to get back into control.
Yes.
And that's where we don't serve ourselves, where we say things that don't serve, or we do something that doesn't serve us. So it's a counter intention. We're trying to save the situation. We're trying to save our face, our reputation. We're trying to do our work.
Yes.
But the counter
The
intention
opposite sometimes
takes
comes
us
true.
out.
That is crazy to me. So to ensure that this does not happen, to ensure that this does not work, do you have key tools for us to instill kind of when we're faced with such situations, things that we can take a breath and reflect on and then act?
So that's exactly it. The starting point, the most powerful one, is to take a breath. You deactivate the instinctive response system, the amygdala or amygdala hijack in your fight and flight system. And that breath, that amygdala only has power for about 3 seconds. That's the simplest way I can explain it. And just by taking a breath, you shortcut that.
Yeah.
And then with this activated intelligence, when you do all three, when you can be conscious of how you're thinking, how you're feeling, and how you're showing up in your physiology. And I call that the activated intelligence trifecta. When you bring all three together, then you can look into that situation with real-time awareness, and then you can make an informed choice. Do I need to change the way I'm thinking right now? Do I need to leverage how I'm feeling right now? Because anger can serve you. If you're angry, there's so much energy there. There's so much power there. You don't have to be taken out. You can leverage that energy and that power to give you more momentum, to help you focus even more, to be more intense, and to make powerful choices that you otherwise wouldn't. And then you can leverage that into the third domain, your physiology, which gives you that adrenaline rush. And then you can show up more powerfully than you were 5 minutes ago.
To the trained mind, how quick does that take to make all those shifts? Because for me, I'm going to have to take several breaths, not just one breath. I'm going to have to really, walk away almost, and then be able to acknowledge and kind of hit all these marks.
As with everything, there's a process of learning. This one's really quick, because what happens is, as soon as you've spoken to the conscious and subconscious mind, it's now aware of it.
Okay.
And the second and third time, you don't have to go back to school. The instinct has become intention, and intention takes over. And my clients and my friends and my coaching clients, training clients, we find like, wow, this stuff's actually taking quicker than I expected. So it's simple. You do need to go through it the first time, and then let nature, let the universe, let energy take over, and start to see how quickly your life can change.
This is so beautiful, and I think that having a book like Get Activated is something that we all need, because not only do we need it to change the way we interact with people, but to make it work for us in any circumstance, in any environment we're placed in. Thank you so much, Robin, for coming through and dropping off this gem of a book. Definitely go out and get your hands on it. After the break, we make some exciting Halloween treats with Chef Butzeletsa. See you after the break.